This is News 8 Now, this morning.
I've been fighting cancer 23 years. I've had surgery, stem cell transplant, chemo, radiation, and I'm still here. And Dr. Chris Fletcher is taking care of me, and I'm really happy with what the VA hospital has done for me.
That is a class act. Everybody's here for the same reason, and which is to help people.
This is the part of the construction phase that I love so much, because you have a concept and then you start putting wood together and putting walls up and windows on, and all of a sudden you have a home.
Good morning, everyone, and that was your morning eye opener. I'm Jeremy Wall, in for Sophia Pullman.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
And it's Friday, May 26, 2023, the start of the holiday weekend and the unofficial start of summer. I don't know about you, Derek, but it's one of the things I look forward to.
I do too. I love the Memorial Day weekend because it's like that barbecue vibe. You get to go outside, enjoy some outdoor activities in general. And Jeremy, our weather's perfect for it too. We got temperatures into the 70s and 80s during the afternoon hours here today. And I'm happy to say that as we head into next week, it's going to be looking pretty similar to that with those highs into the 80s especially. We'll get to that a little bit later. I do want to go ahead and talk to you about what's happening currently across the area and just a few passing clouds right now. But other than that, that's really about it. Things are still looking very quiet and very dry right now. Current temperature readings are into the 40s in many spots. Some spots, Sparta, Black River Falls, and Volkfield, all into those mid to upper 20s here this morning. But again, the rest of us checking in into mainly the 40s. Here's a check on your planner. We are going to be looking at plenty of sunshine throughout the day. Temperatures warming up into the 50s and 60s by late morning, followed by the 70s here into the afternoon under mainly sunny weather conditions and light southerly winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour for us to work with during the day. Now stay tuned. I'm going to have a check on your schoolcast plus your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. Jeremy?
All right, thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. Monday, we showed you local efforts to stop rural puppy mills from overbreeding for profit. The problem is even worse in southern states where shelters are often so overcrowded with abandoned puppies that they resort to putting them down. Shelters right here in the Cooley region, though, are now trying to give puppies a second chance at life.
They euthanize more dogs on the daily basis than our shelters can hold.
The afternoon we visited Shannon Johnson. Her nonprofit Stray Souls is expecting a dozen puppies from a high-kill shelter in Texas, one that's built to house 85 dogs, but currently has more than 300.
Monday they put down a litter of puppies that didn't even have their eyes open.
Every day, Johnson's email has new requests from similar shelters, begging for help.
Seeing a plea for help and realizing that I can't because I don't have the right personnel for it.
She wants to save as many puppies as possible, but she's limited.
Before I can agree to bring a dog out of a southern shelter, they have to have a confirmed foster placement here because we don't have a facility.
Many animal rescue groups don't have their own building. And even though the Cooley Region Humane Society has one, they're pushed to the limit.
When we get super overcrowded, there's potential that we have to set up wire crates.
Fostering is a way these rescues and humane societies get some relief. Volunteers open their home to a puppy or two for an average of 2 weeks, while the organizations help find the puppy's forever home.
Seeing that they are just a completely different dog now that they've had the time to decompress out of the shelter, that's very rewarding.
It's why Shannon Christensen in Holman has fostered 35 dogs in the past 2 years for Last Paw Rescue based out of Toma.
If it wasn't for us fosters, all these dogs would be dead.
She wants to foster even more, but a Holman ordinance says a home can only have up to 3 dogs. She already owns 3, and when she added 2 fosters recently, a neighbor called police.
I explained to him that all my dogs are vetted, they're registered with the Village of Holman, and then the other 2 were fosters. Basically told me I would probably need to make sure I find a home for them soon so that I don't get any more complaints.
For her, it's a frustrating limitation.
This is what's stopping us from moving on and saving these animals.
What I'm asking the board to look at is ordinance and possibly considering short-term fostering.
She's now asking the village to update the ordinance to allow people like her to continue housing dogs that would otherwise be put down. Without a change, the next complaint could put an end to her passion for saving animals.
In the beginning, I was like, what am I getting myself into? Now, I don't know what I do without it. It's one of the things I don't want to give up on.
A sentiment Johnson and her volunteers know well as they meet their new furry arrivals after a long journey north.
When you're sitting there holding a puppy and you know that because you stepped up, that dog's story changed, that makes those messages hit home.
At this point, there's no plan to update Holman's ordinance. Stray Souls and Last Paws Rescue have information for prospective foster volunteers on their website. We've got those links on news8000.com. Habitat for Humanity is looking for volunteers to help complete its first Trempealeau County home. Construction on a house for Marcelina Jose and her 5 children began last October. Since then, builders have put down a foundation, framed walls, and installed plumbing and electric. Habitat gave tours of the progress while having a cookout. Now that it's summer, volunteers can help with the finishing touches.
This is the part of the construction phase that I love so much because you have a concept and then you start putting wood together and putting walls up and windows on, and all of a sudden you have a home.
This will be the area's first Habitat home with solar power, which will cut down on energy costs. If you'd like to help the family finish their home or work on any of the other 10 projects that Habitat has right now, you could sign up on their website. A Whitehall native was inducted into the Madison VA Hall of Heroes this morning. Retired U.S. Army Captain Tyrone Tony Paulson served during the Vietnam War, where he earned 3 Bronze Stars for Valor and 2 Army Commendation Medals for Valor. He says he's glad to have the VA by his side.
I've been fighting cancer 23 years. I've had surgery, stem cell transplant, chemo, radiation, and I'm still here. And Dr. Chris Fletcher is taking care of me, and I'm really happy with what the VA hospital's done for me.
Paulson retired in 2003 after 31 years with the Wisconsin State Patrol, where he served as a dispatch supervisor. He's been a member of Adaptive Sportsmen for several years, supporting people living with disabilities with hunting and fishing. The Tomah VA Medical Center hosted a Memorial Day ceremony to honor and remember the men and women who have sacrificed their lives while serving. The event was open to all veterans and the public. The ceremony included a performance from the Tomah High School Band along with military honors from Tomah VFW Post 1382. There were also booths available to educate attendees on resources and benefits under the PACT Act and VA Care. Ahead of the holiday weekend and graduation season, the La Crosse Police Department is reminding everyone to have a safe time while they celebrate the festivities. Police advise that when it comes to underage drinking, they want anyone that is hosting an event to be mindful and aware to ensure everyone is being responsible.
We ask you to be safe, of course. We want you to enjoy and have fun, but be responsible. So parents, make sure your kids are there, that you're watching over them. If there's other kids there, make sure you're watching. If you have alcoholic beverages there, that they're not consuming, things like that. Because again, we just want everyone to have a safe, wonderful graduation season and obviously holiday.
The La Crosse Police Department encourages people to plan ahead to have a designated driver when drinking alcohol. The Lincoln Middle School building is officially nominated for a landmark designation. The Heritage Preservation Commission voted on the nomination yesterday. A public hearing about the designation will happen next month. The council member of District 9, where the building stands, nominated the building for the designation.
While we may no longer have a school, we hope that this building has continuing life as, development, housing, community use.
If approved, any developers who take over the building would not be allowed to make changes to the exterior of the original school building. The additions made over several decades would be allowed to be demolished. Eau Claire's Police and Fire Commission has named Matt Jagar the city's new fire chief. He succeeds previous chief Chris Bell, who retired last month. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen sat down with Chief Jagar and shares where he came from and what he hopes to do next.
Service can be a calling.
It's held by my beliefs. We should pay things forward, and we should leave things better than they were previously.
Matt Jagger's desire to help took him from a teenage job at the grocery store to something unexpected.
A member of the Town of Hall Fire Department came into the grocery store looking for an item, and he asked me if I had ever considered being a firefighter, to which I candidly answered no.
That push lit a spark in 18-year-old Jagger. That spark followed him to Eau Claire.
I had a desire to serve more for the community and the department that was investing in me.
Jagger has filled plenty of roles in his 25 years with the city.
For the last 4 years, I've served as Deputy Chief of Operations.
That time was spent investing in his community and his colleagues.
Matt is a class act. Everybody's here for the same reason, and which is to help people.
We really do want to make a difference in helping people, making our community safer.
And last Friday, Jagger was named fire chief.
It was filled with a lot of emotions, one of gratitude, thankfulness, and excitement.
Gratitude, turning into goals.
We're going to continue to build on what we're doing very well now.
Taking on his new title with a team in his corner.
If you have great people that you're working with, your job is awesome.
In Eau Claire, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
Jagger started his duties as fire chief last Friday. His swearing-in ceremony will be held at 4 p.m. on June 5th at Eau Claire Fire Station 10. Serving as the heart of their communities, Public Works employees help plan, build, and operate projects to help build a quality life for residents. Now, as part of National Public Works Week, the city hosted its 6th annual Touch a Truck event where the community is able to see the vehicles that Public Works employees use up close. One Public Works employee says that this event benefits both the kids and those who work for La Crosse Public Works.
I think it goes both ways. I think the kids really appreciate it as Touch a Truck, but then it gives us the opportunity to showcase what we do as a Public Works employee for the city of La Crosse.
La Crosse Mayor Mitch Reynolds was also in attendance to proclaim this week as National Public Works Week in La Crosse. He added that he's very grateful for every Public Works employee and their work should not be taken for granted.
An amazing amount of different stuff that we're doing. The concrete pumper trucks with our contractors that work with us as well. So it is such an honor and a privilege to work in a community that has such dedicated Public Works professionals.
The event included guided tours of different vehicles as well as information booths and games for kids. Still ahead on your morning news, researchers dive into what happens when teens experience food insecurity. And the FDA has voted to recommend approval for a new RSV vaccine that is given to pregnant women. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. The Milwaukee County Zoo welcomed this newborn female, Bactrian camel calf. It says she's healthy, weighing about 88 pounds at her first neonatal exam. She's bonding well with her mother, AJ, and is getting to know her father, Stan, through a mesh fence. The two adults have 3 male offspring, but this is their first girl. Don't go anywhere. Your medical news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Well, it sure is a beautiful morning across the Coulee region. As you can see behind me, there is really nothing here on the radar picture, on just a couple of clouds now on the satellite picture that continue to move across the area this morning. Dog walking conditions look picture perfect, clear skies throughout the morning, afternoon, and also into the evening hours as well. But those current temperatures as you head out the door, well, you may need a light jacket with you. It's a little chilly in some spots. You can see areas like Black River Falls, Sparta into Volkfield, all into the 20s, while the rest of us mainly checking in into the 40s as you get ready to head out the door this morning. Now for your zone forecast today, high temperatures will be reaching those 70s in some spots, even the low 80s this afternoon. Highs just shy of that 80-degree mark in many spots in La Crosse County. High of 77 today in Soldiers Grove and 74 in Westby, 76 in Lafarge. And as we head to our central locations, highs into the mid-70s here with 76 in Trempealeau and Arcadia. In the Chippewa Valley, mid to upper 70s here with a high of 79 today in Eau Claire. In fact, just shy of 80 up there as well. 49 degrees off to school this morning with sunshine, and we can still expect sunny skies as we head back home today with a high of 75 degrees. So definitely a comfortable day out there. We will be talking about your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. I'll discuss how long this nice weather pattern will last and if we have any upcoming rain chances in the near future.
In your medical news this morning, not having enough food to eat as a teen can lead to a poor diet and emotional eating. Researchers found that experiencing food insecurity was associated with a poor diet and more reported emotional eating. They say teens were binge eating and using laxatives, which they add may be a strategy for coping with the stress associated with not having enough food. A daily multivitamin could help keep your mind sharp. Researchers at Columbia University and Harvard tracked more than 3,000 people over age 60 and found that those who took a daily multivitamin dose had improved memory compared to those who took a fake pill. The difference was even more significant in people with heart disease. And here's another reason to add exercise to your schedule. It could help keep you from getting the flu and pneumonia. That's according to the U.S. National Health Interview Study. It says exercising can cut down your chances from dying from the flu and pneumonia by 48%. Researchers found that aerobic and muscle strengthening activity cut the risk. Meeting just the aerobic activity target lowers your risk by 36%. An FDA advisory panel has voted to recommend approval of a vaccine to protect infants against RSV. The shot would be given to pregnant women. Stephanie Stahl has more.
Pfizer's experimental RSV vaccine would be given in late pregnancy so mothers can pass antibodies onto their babies to protect against the virus. Pfizer says its research of nearly 7,400 vaccinated mothers finds the shot is 82% effective at preventing severe RSV in infants in the first 3 months of life. That number is 69% at 6 months.
RSV pre-F maternal immunization demonstrated a satisfactory safety profile in mothers and their infants.
Reviewers with the FDA say the vaccine appears to be safe, but there are some questions about a slight difference in premature birth in the two study groups.
The difference of 1% was noted in premature births, similar to the difference seen in preterm deliveries, though not statistically significant. These findings may be of consideration for further safety evaluation through post-marketing studies.
RSV, which stands for respiratory syncytial virus, can be dangerous, even deadly for some infants and young children. The CDC estimates about 58,000 to 80,000 children under 5 are hospitalized due to RSV. Premature babies and infants under 6 months old are at highest risk for severe RSV illness.
There's nothing more distressing for parents than the frightened look of their 3-month-old infant struggling to breathe.
The U.S. experienced an unprecedented early and severe surge in RSV cases last fall, putting a significant strain on hospitals. Pfizer predicts up to 16,000 infant hospitalizations could be prevented each year if pregnant women are vaccinated for RSV.
Earlier this month, Arexvy became the first RSV vaccine approved for use in the U.S. for people age 60 and older. That's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Jeremy. We are looking at a pretty nice start here this morning from CityCam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Crystal clear sky. Temperatures at 43 degrees with visibility levels at 10 miles an hour. Light east-southeast winds at 3 miles an hour. And the river stage currently reporting 9.95 feet, and that is dropping along the Mississippi River. Current temperatures in Eau Claire a little cooler, 41 degrees with those clear skies, and visibilities at 10 miles here as well. Winds are nice and calm. Chippewa River is at 759.9. That's holding steady here this morning. Current temperatures towards the east, Black River Falls, Sparta, Volkfield, all into the upper 20s, so much colder there. 45 in Winona currently and 44 in Viroqua. Bosquepel currently reporting 34 and Prairie du Chien at 40 degrees. Our forecast highs today rising into those mid to upper 70s. A high of 78 today in Eau Claire and just shy of 80 degrees this afternoon in La Crosse. It'll be 76 in Sparta today and a high of 70 78 in basketball. All under, lots of sunshine here today. 70 degrees at noon with sunny skies, and the 77 with the sunshine still lasting here by 4. We could see maybe a couple of clouds, sure, as we head towards early this evening, but temperature still remaining comfortable, 71 degrees near sunset, and we are looking at the clouds here dissipating right now. Things are still looking high and dry across the Coulee region, thanks to an area of high pressure building across the Great Lakes region right now, and that is going to persist here over the next few days still to help give us those dry and sunny weather conditions that we've been pretty much accustomed to here lately. We are expecting that the high will continue to be influencing our weather pattern, even though it will be slightly moving away here on Saturday, but more so as we get towards Sunday and Monday. That system is going to be exiting the area, and that should allow the atmosphere to destabilize here just a little further, along with a little bit of a southerly wind component. So that could allow a little bit of more moisture to sneak into the Coulee region to allow for a couple of stray pop-up showers and thunderstorms to occur across portions of the area, more so by the mid to latter half of next week, which is why we do have some of those rain chances coming up here on the 8-day forecast. But before we get there, today through Tuesday, still looking pretty dry and quiet with highs mainly into the 80s. We'll be looking at highs reaching those mid to upper 80s, however, by mid to late next week, especially along with some of those slim rain and thunderstorm chances that we'll have to be monitoring here in the coming days as well. Low temperatures in the meantime, mainly into the 50s and 60s. Stay with us. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We're taking a quick break with a look at what happened on this day in history for May 26. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Blitz. We're a week away until lacrosse is filled with some of the best high school athletes in the state. But in order to qualify for the state track meet, you got to get top 4 in your event at the state qualifier. So that takes us to Arcadia Division II sectional track meet. The athletes were flying. Boys 110 hurdles. Keep your eye on Logan's Avin Smith clearing the hurdles, crossing the finish line in 15:23. That's good enough for first. He's on to state. 100-meter dash, it's the Rangers again. Logan's Julie Yang finishes in third place. She's now a state qualifier. Boys race, no surprise here. Aquinas' Colin Conzemius takes the gold. He'll be going for back-to-back state titles next weekend. How about some field events? Arcadia's Cassidy Peeler right at home. She was dominating. Here she is on discus. She'd take first place with a top throw of 128.11. She'd also take first in pole vault. We'll end with a relay 4x200. West Salem looking to qualify. Coming down the stretch, Brendan Kennedy crosses the finish line in second. Panthers are moving on to state. On the girls' side, here's Maddie Murphy giving it her all. She's going to take third place for the Blue Golds. Aquinas is moving on. This was just a warm-up. Next weekend, state track meet right here in La Crosse. Softball regional finals, big one in Blair Taylor as the Wildcats hosted Luther. Abby Thompson in the pitcher's circle. She was dialed in. Strikeout to start the game. 2 batters later, gets another. 7 strikeouts in the first 3 innings, but this one was scoreless until the 3rd. Anna White at the dish now. She lines one out to right over the head of the defense. White into third with a triple. 9-hitter coming in clutch. Next batter, the senior Lindsey Steen is going to find the gap in right center. White comes in to score. Steen rounds second, in safe at third. Back-to-back triples for the Wildcats. They win at 4-3. They'll host Osseo Fairchild, who beat Cochran Fountain City 11-3. Toma opening up their postseason run, hosting Sun Prairie West. Top 1, West Ella Orden. Base knock down the right field line. 2 runs are going to come in to score. Visitors take a 3-0 lead. Bottom half of the frame now. Toma's Brooke Hart, a chopper in the infield that brings in Libby Matheson. Timberwolves cut it to 2. More from the home team. Senior Lauren Noth, sac fly to left. 1 more run's going to come in. Toma only down by 1, but the visitors have just too much. Top 2, Sophia Royal, grounder that's too hot to handle. Sun Prairie West plates another one. Toma's season comes to an end. They fall 6-3. West Salem hosting Wisconsin Dells. Jump right to the 7th. The Panthers' Josie Brudos collecting a late strikeout. Now last chance here for the Chiefs, but Vanessa Marsick is going to ground it back to Brudos for the game-ending out. West Salem is your regional champ. Panthers win at 7-2. They'll have to travel to Mount Horeb for the sectional semifinal on Tuesday. Some more softball scores from around the area. Prairie du Chien pulling off the upset in D3. Blackhawks go on the road and take out top-seeded Westby 4-1 the final there. PDC will take on River Valley next Tuesday. And in Division 5, Hillsborough takes down Brookwood on the road 7-3. Next up for the Tigers, a date with top-seeded Seneca on Tuesday. Let's go to the Diamond at Logan High. Division 2 regionals starting yesterday. Rangers playing host to River Valley. Top 1, Logan's Tyler Rumsey dealing early. Chopper to third. Lucas Eilertson makes the play. Blackhawks go down in order. Bottom of the inning, Rangers offense going right to work. Johnny Lever lines one down the left field line. That's going to be trouble. Lever starts it off with a stand-up double. Then later in the inning, bases loaded for Eilertson. He's going to poke one over to second. Blackhawks get one, but that's all they get. Lever scores to make it 1-0 Logan. Then in the second, Rumsey gets out of trouble. Big strikeout with 2 runners on. It's going to end the threat. Logan had a 1-run lead early, but the Rangers come up short in this one. Blackhawks are moving on. They get the win, 3-2. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
A federal judge has handed down the longest sentence yet for someone connected to the January 6 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Stewart Rhodes, founder of the Oath Keepers militia group, was just sentenced to nearly 20 years in prison. Jared Hill has the details.
Of the nearly 1,000 people charged in connection with the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, Stewart Rhodes, founder of the Oath Keepers militia group, was just handed the most serious sentence yet. 18 years behind bars. The Yale law grad was convicted of conspiring to mobilize his own fighting force at the Capitol.
It's not only the longest sentence by a good amount, but it was backed up by the court saying, "You, sir, present a threat to the fabric of democracy."
Prosecutors argued that for weeks before January 6th, Rhodes planned to raise money, prepare gear, and get a team ready if then-President Donald Trump invoked the Insurrection Act, something Rhodes urged Trump to do in a letter. His defense pushed back.
I think that essentially they have used Stewart Rhodes' words against him. It was not what his actions were, but it was his words.
In court, it was revealed Rhodes continues to rile up his followers in phone calls from jail. Federal Judge Amit Mehta called him an ongoing threat to America. At sentencing, Rhodes argued he's a political prisoner and that he and other Trump supporters are being targeted by a, quote, regime, also claiming the Oath Keepers were quiet professionals on January 6th. His team plans to appeal.
One of Rhodes' co-defendants was sentenced to 12 years for seditious conspiracy. Members of the Proud Boys will be sentenced on the same charge in August. Wisconsin lawmakers are not alone in the movement to loosen child labor laws as a fix to hiring troubles. Legislators in at least 10 states are proposing letting children work longer hours and in more hazardous positions. Advocates against child exploitation are concerned by the proposal that allowed children to work late on school nights. Wisconsin's Budget Writing Committee rejected Governor Tony Evers' plan to make nearly 40 revenue agent positions permanent. The agents are tasked with enforcing the state's tax laws. The 2017 to 2019 budget created 38 positions to focus on collecting delinquent taxes. Those positions were supposed to be cut in September 2021, but were kept in the next budget until June 20th through the 25th. Republicans on the Budget Committee rejected Evers' proposal to make the positions permanent, voting to only extend the positions until September 2025. The prime season for home buying is upon us. Despite this, the Wisconsin housing market has been dropping for the last 3 years. Home sales last month declined 32% from last year, and the median home price rose to $283,000. In the Cooley region, low inventory has caused prices to rise, which results in fewer homes being sold. One expert says it's good to use an agent who knows the landscape of the market.
Number one on the list is to contact a realtor and be working with a professional to get the best advice and have somebody in your corner working for you. And
Olson adds that these challenges could stick around for another year or even longer if inventory fails to increase. For the record, this is not an ad for an iPhone. What started as a surprising discovery under the waves of Lake Mendota led to a detective mission for campus police. And in the course of Catherine Merck's reporting, it led her all the way back to where the story started.
They say the things we lose have a way of coming back to us, but it might not be in the way you expect. The Four Lakes Scuba Club says in this case,
out of sight is not out of mind.
On one of their cleanup dives, club president Ellen Evans says they made a pretty routine discovery when coming across an iPhone that still worked.
We find phones, we always try to charge them up. A lot of times they aren't functional, but occasionally they are. We try to return them to the owner. She charged it up and it came on.
Finding a working iPhone in the bottom of Lake Mendota didn't faze these divers too much. So it kind of makes you wonder, what else could be down there?
We target things that are bad for the environment. So plastic bags, plastic cups, plastic bottles, electronics. I found a cash register drawer that was empty. So I'm wondering how that ended up there.
The mystery of the iPhone would eventually turn to the hands of campus police. Detectives were able to get into the returned iPhone, which led them to recent UW-Madison grad Ellie Eisenberg.
I picked up the phone, it was a 608 number, and I was like, okay. And it was UW-Madison Police Department, and I was like, uh-oh, well, that can't be good. I dropped my phone in the lake a full year ago off of a boat and thought it was gone forever. And then I got the call, and here it was.
She and her friends were out on a boat when her cell phone made the plunge last summer.
And I got a new phone because I thought, like, who would even find it? Like, who do you call for that? Thank you, scuba team. Thank you, UW Police Department.
In Ellie's case, the reunion comes as a bit of a shock.
I'm just surprised it worked and they found me.
I just try to imagine, what were people doing that this ended up in the water? And usually I can't come up with a good explanation on how this got here.
The unexpected comeback brings even more questions than when it was originally lost.
Yeah, now I'm like, what's below me? I have no idea. Like, maybe I should go looking. Maybe I should get myself a little scuba set and join the club out there.
Here's Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute. Derek.
All right, thanks so much for that, Jeremy. We are looking at a nice clear start here this morning across the area. Just a couple of clouds, but that's really about it. Current temperature readings are into the 40s now, but there are some spots such as Black River Falls and Sparta and Volkfield all into those upper 20s to low 30s. But again, the rest of us here mainly into the 40s. And your forecast overall today, mostly sunny and seasonable with a high of about 79 degrees this afternoon. Southeast winds at 5 to 10. For tonight, mostly clear skies and unseasonably cool with temperatures dropping to 49 degrees with light southeast winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Your mowing forecast here for today, 52 degrees with those clear skies, 70 degrees at noon with plenty of sunshine, and the sunny skies will remain here by 5 p.m. Temperatures at 79 degrees, so it doesn't really matter what time you decide to mow. Everything is looking pretty quiet here throughout the day with pretty comfortable temperatures and dry conditions to work with as well. Now coming up, I'm going to have a check on your full weather forecast in just a few minutes, plus a check on your buzz report coming up next after the break. Well, sure, it's a beautiful start here behind me from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Crystal clear blue sky is what we're working with here currently, with temperatures a little on the cool side here this morning, though, at 43 degrees. Visibility, though, coming in nice and clear at 10 miles. East-southeast winds at around 3 miles an hour. The river stage is currently reporting 9.95 feet, and that is currently dropping here this morning. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, 41 degrees with clear skies here. Visibility at 10 miles. Wind speeds are looking nice and calm here for us to work with as well. There's a difference in temperatures across the Coulee region. As you can see, Black River Falls, Sparta, Volkfield, upper 20s to low 30s is what we're currently working with. In fact, much of central and northern Wisconsin dealing with some pretty cold temperatures as they wake up this morning as well. Meanwhile, in Winona, we're currently at 46 degrees. Vroke was at 45 degrees, and we are seeing Basketball reporting 34 and Prairie du Chien at 40 degrees. Our forecast highs today rising into those mid to upper 70s. Some spots such as La Crosse and Eau Claire today very near that 80-degree mark here later this afternoon. We'll be reaching 76, however, in Winona today, and a high of 74 in Viroqua, 78 in Bosquebel, and 76 today in Prairie du Chien. So overall, your planner does call for lots of sunshine. Temperatures warming into the low 70s by noon today. 4 o'clock, 77 degrees with still very sunny skies, and mostly sunny skies as well by early this evening with temperatures at 71 degrees. Overall, as you can see on our local satellite and radar picture, there's nothing on the radar, only a couple of clouds right now in the satellite picture, and they continue to really dissipate as high pressure continues to provide plenty of subsidence, in other words, some dry air across much of the area, and you can see it's established itself pretty nicely across the Great Lakes region. And this system is still expected to impact our weather here to give us those quiet and overall just dry and mostly sunny weather conditions that we've been experiencing lately. This will continue over the next couple of days, at least through most of this weekend. But there are some changes coming though, because as that high moves away, that could allow the atmosphere to destabilize a little bit, along with a little bit of a southerly wind component. That could allow for a little bit of moisture to sneak into the Coulee region. And you may notice a couple of stray afternoon showers and thunderstorms as a result to pop up here at times, especially by Wednesday and into Thursday as we head into late or mid to late next week, that is. And that is why we do have some rain and thunderstorm chances there on the 8-day forecast. But again, it's more so Wednesday through Friday of next week, and they're very light rain chances between around 20 to 30%. In the meantime, before we get to those chances of rain, we will be looking at mainly dry and overall just quiet conditions today through Tuesday, with high temperatures into the 80s and lows in the 50s and 60s.
In our morning buzz report, no elves, dwarves, or nasty little hobbits to play, as here, the Lord of the Rings Gollum casts the player in an unlikely role. The game takes place between the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. This is a steep action adventure game that follows Gollum as he tries to recover the Ring of Power. Players get to experience both sides of Gollum's personality. The game is out now for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours.
The first one, the high heel.
You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
A brand new trailer is giving us our best look yet at Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling in Barbie. The new footage shows the famous doll and her friend Ken transported into the real world and causing quite a stir. Barbie hits theaters July 21st. Sunday's Indianapolis 500 race has a new driver. Actor Adam Driver, the two-time Academy Award nominee, will wave the green flag to officially start the 107th storied auto race. Driver grew up in northern Indiana and attended college in Indianapolis. He also stars as auto magnate Enzo Ferrari in an upcoming film. Alrighty, before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8. Happy 80th birthday to Jason's mother. Jason says that his mother is the best mom ever.
And happy 80th birthday to Lorraine. Lorraine loves golfing, playing bingo, and is a diehard Wisconsin sports fan.
Happy 88th birthday to Judy. Judy enjoys planting flowers, feeding birds, and drinking cold lemonade.
Happy 88th birthday to Gail. Gail likes to watch the Brewers and do puzzles.
If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old, soon, we love to feature them.
That's right, just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is up next. Ahead of the holiday weekend and graduation season, the La Crosse Police Department is reminding everyone to have a safe time while they celebrate the festivities. Police advise that when it comes to underage drinking, they want anyone that is hosting an event to be mindful and aware to ensure everyone is being responsible. The Lincoln Middle School building is officially nominated for a landmark designation. The Heritage Preservation Commission voted on the nomination tonight. A public hearing about the designation will happen next month. The council member of District 9, where the building stands, nominated the building for the designation.
While we may no longer have a school, we
hope that this building has continuing life as, development housing, community use.
If approved, any developers who take over the building would not be allowed to make changes to the exterior of the original school building. The additions made over several decades would be allowed to be demolished. Habitat for Humanity is looking for volunteers to help complete its first Trempealeau County home. Construction on a house for Marcelina Jose and her 5 children began last October. Since then, builders have put down a foundation, framed walls, and installed plumbing and electric. Habitat gave tours of the progress while having a cookout. Now that it's summer, volunteers can help with the finishing touches.
This is the part of the construction phase that I love so much, because you have a concept and then you start putting wood together and putting walls up and windows on, and all of a sudden you have a home.
The future homeowner's daughter says the whole family is very excited to move into a more permanent home. Serving as the heart of their communities, Public Works employees help plan, build, and operate projects to help build a quality life for residents. Now, as part of National Public Works Week, the city hosted its 6th annual Touch a Truck event, where the community is able to see the vehicles that Public Works employees use up close. One Public Works employee says that this event benefits both the kids and those who work for La Crosse Public Works.
I think it goes both ways. I think the kids really appreciate it as Touch a Truck, but then it gives us the opportunity to showcase what we do as a Public Works employee for the city of La Crosse.
La Crosse Mayor Mitch Reynolds is also in attendance to proclaim this week as National Public Works Week here in La Crosse. He added that he's very grateful for every Public Works employee and their work should not be taken for granted. The Good Fight is hosting their 3rd annual golf outing on June 25th, and there's only one more week until registration closes on June 1st. Registration is $60 per person, includes golf, a golf cart, a lunch bar, and more. There will also be a raffle and silent auction to help support area youth. For more information or to register, we have a link on our website. That's news8000.com. Derek, how's it looking outside?
Well, it's looking nice out there, just a little cool, so you may need that jacket here with you this morning, but not for too much longer. We're going to warm up into the 50s and 60s by late morning, followed by the 70s as we head into this afternoon. Overall, very seasonable temperatures and lots of sunshine to work with. Heading into your weekend, we'll be looking at highs into the low 80s under a mix of sun and clouds. Memorial Day is looking nice with a high of 85 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Chance of showers and storms, very slight chance it is by mid to late next week. And warmer too, with highs near those low 90s.
I love looking at those low 90s forecasts. I have to ask, as we approach the holiday weekend, what's your favorite Memorial Day memory?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I have any, to be honest. I mean, I just know that since I was a kid, it's always been a tradition to just go out and barbecue with friends and family.
Yeah.
And just, you know what I mean? But you also have to kind of remember those who sacrificed as well. So.
Yeah, mine's definitely spending at the Jersey Shore. And don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com, while the latest updates to today's top 8 stories on News 8